Jason, the lucky bastard, Youth and Wolf, coming at you live from the West Coast, man. All right, we are drinking. I drink a Bud Light, dude. This is like half the price of the beer I usually drink. We got hard times over here, man. I'm preparing for the hard times. All right. Anyways, I went and looked at the draft, man, the combine. Jason, I went best of the quarterbacks. I watched all the quarterbacks, every single position. I wrote down all the names I liked. And then I went down, went back, looked at the production, looked at some more tape. I'm going to pick my favorites, man. I've got one of each position. Jason has 4 favorites as well. So stick around, man, because these guys we will be targeting in the drafts. I targeted, Sam Laporta 2 years ago. I told you to draft him after watching the combine. Brock Bowers, after watching preseason, I told you to target him. I've got a tight end, Jason. This guy's fucking insane. I didn't even know about him. We spend too much time in the NFL. I got a life here, dude. So I don't know anything about college. I just dove deep, balls deep, into college stuff, dude. And this tight end sticks out like a sore thumb. Stick around for him because you're going to be able to get him super late, super fucking late. I should say, I got to continue. Jason, this show needs help, man. Just look at me finishing sentences and not saying shit. Please help this show. Jason, tell the public how they can help this show.
I know. I was sitting here. I was like waiting for the cue to.
I was like, dude, I wanted to drink so bad. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking, man. Your throat is parched. It's a parched throat. Okay, yeah. If you guys made this far, please hit the subscribe, press the like, leave us a comment, let us know. Are there any rookies, college players that we missed at the combine? Let us know in the comments. I'm curious. Who did we miss? Or did we just nail it? Did we just nail this motherfucker down? Did we do good?
I wish I should have wrote down. I should have like shared my list of every name I wrote down that I liked, and then I circled the ones that I really like. But still, yeah. Hey, man, I bet you there's a lot on here that you like. So let us know so we can go back and look at it in more detail. Because hey, man, this is a group effort here, dog. Let's get into the news and the brews, man. I got the brews. We got the news. Crazy shit just happened, Jason. Geno Smith. I didn't even talk to you about this before the show. Got traded to the Raiders for a 3rd-round pick, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck? A 3rd-round pick? Are you kidding me? That's a lot. Pete Carroll. All right, so Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, Brock Bowers is going to get goddamn 150 targets. Jacoby Myers is back on the menu, boys. So yeah, give me the number 1 pass catcher. I mean, I need to look at the Jacoby Myers situation, but they're trying to trade away Michael Myers. All right, so that was like their top draft pick a couple of years ago. It was a tight end. 8 into Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers to me now might be worth a late 2nd round. I'm not doing it, but he might be worth it.
What about like Jacoby Myers? Do you think he really gets a bump, a high bump?
Oh, dude, I just needed to know who the quarterback was. That's all I needed.
And are you satisfied?
I'm not satisfied. I'd much rather have a Kirk Cousins or somebody else like that. But this makes total sense.
When I heard this, the one thing I was thinking about, like I said this a couple months ago, I had doubts that Geno Smith was going to return to Seattle. I didn't think he was going to be traded, but my thing was like, okay, there was a chance they were going to go into the draft and get a quarterback in the first, what was it, like 6 picks they have, Tyler? Like the first, within the first 10 picks. So now what I am concerned about as a Cowboys fan and fantasy football enthusiast.
Are they going to try to get, what's his name? You're talking about the linebacker?
No, I'm talking about what's going to stop them from getting, Genty.
Oh, the Raiders. Yeah, they don't have a running back. Yeah.
Because, the Cowboys, they have a couple picks back. They're like pick 12. And I was like, there's a good chance. I'm like, who's going to really get a quarterback, right? Now because they got their quarterback.
Marshawn Lynch was I wonder what round pick. No, he got traded over there from the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Most of their running backs under the Pete Carroll era, though, Jason, have been late round picks. Chris Carson was the only one I could think about. So, I mean, I don't know. I would not be surprised if they went lineman. So,
well, we're going to talk a little bit later about Ashton Genty as well and where he might go.
All right. And then, hey, Jason, man, Evan Ingram released. Remember Brent Strange? Hey, dude, if you're waiting for tight end late, Brent Strange had a lot of targets last year. from both. I don't know if it was from both Matt Jones and Trevor Lawrence, but still, one of the two, man. So, yeah, there's like 3 late round targets on tight ends. We went over them before. Add Strange to the list.
Yeah, that was another one that I saw on the way home. Actually, that happened yesterday, and I guess I just missed it. I saw it a couple hours ago, and this is just like, Tyler, what has been my complaint about Brian Thomas Jr.? Well, not really complaint, like my concern is that there was no one else to throw the ball to last year.
Right.
They didn't have a Christian McKirk. They didn't have an Evan Ingram. So I'm like, damn, maybe he shouldn't be ranked as high as I'm putting him. Dude, both those players are gone.
So both released, both older players, but yeah, they both ate into the target share. So Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange. Oh yeah, maybe I fuck ETN. All right, fuck him in the fucking ass. All right, here we go. Tooney and the Rams guard. I think it was Jackson, Josh Jackson, something like that. Josh Johnson, maybe. So they got 2 interior linemen. Jason, the Bears did. They're lined up. If they draft the number, I forget. There's a center in this draft that's fucking nuts. A 1-year starter. I can't remember what his name is. If they get all 3 of those, holy shit! Look for Caleb Williams to take a major jump. I did not believe it before, but if you tell me they got Tooney, they got the guard from the Rams, and they draft this center, I will be kind of on board with Caleb Williams next year.
Yeah, man. You were telling me about the trade, and I saw that they continue to got the other lineman. I'm like, what the hell is going on out here?
I know, man.
The Bears are making moves, and now I'm like, now it has to put Caleb Williams into your mind and be like, dude, is this guy going to have time to throw? It looks like what is Ben Johnson doing? He is trying to do the same recipe that he's been doing at the Detroit Lions. Now he's bringing it to the Bears. Tyler, didn't they just bring over the Bears offensive line?
I was just going to say, they have the offensive line coach. Tooney doesn't need any of it. Maybe this probably other guy doesn't, but it's just going to make everything work out. Like, that's why I have even more confidence in it. Yeah, dude. So I didn't give a shit about it. They have Paris Campbell. I think it was. Oh no, Paris Campbell was Cardinals. They drafted a left tackle, dude, like in the first round last year. So, or this first round the year before that. I can't remember. So there's talent on this line. They added 2 people, maybe 3 in the draft. Holy shit. Yeah. So I like that. Gus Edwards is released, dog. Gus Edwards didn't do shit. He had 1 or 2 touchdown games, and that was it. So Gus Edwards is gone. J.K. Dobbins should be on our radar, but pay attention. This is like the best fucking running back class. Kamani Vidal had a touchdown the first time. Other than that, he was a non-factor. So pay attention to who they draft this year, Jason.
I know. And like you said, this is a very, very good running back draft class. I want to be surprised if with the release of Gus Edwards that they do pick up a running back and he could be worth some fantasy value in 2025. Right? Oh, he went to go pee. I did not sell the link to the.
All right, next up.
I didn't. There was like dead air.
Dude, I had to pee so bad. I was like, Gus Edwards. Fuck. Warren Sapp is threatening everybody that talks shit about Shedeur Sanders. Apparently, he's driving around his car in America, just like pounding the fuck. he's like Jason. Remember, like Undeclared with. Danger! He's all fucking on his way, dude. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
If you ever liked Freaks and Geeks, go watch Undeclared. Jason Segel is hilarious in that shit. All right, man. Let's get into the real shit. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I've been talking a lot. I'm going to let you go first, Jason. Hit me with your first player.
Oh my gosh, I'm not ready. But
all right, I'll go first.
Now I think I am ready. Sorry, man. For everyone out there, when I try to get this thing going, trying to get this podcast going live, my screen on my computer was turned upside down and it wouldn't flipped. Google didn't have any answers for me. Tyler Collin literally saved it. I don't even know what he did.
Did you think it was funny? You texted me an upside down screen. I was like, Inception.
Dude, seriously. I was what? It wasn't funny at the moment because I was stressing balls, but now I can look back and be like, yeah.
I was laughing.
That was pretty good. So I'm like, I'm really throwing back here. Okay, let me get to our screen. And let me get to our notes. Who's the first?
Dead air.
Dead air. Who's the first person I want to talk about, Tyler?
Fuck, I don't know. Who's the person you're talking about?
I want to say that guy. Let's talk about wide receiver Jayden Higgins.
Oof. God damn it. All right.
Yeah. Dude, he is 6'4". He's a 6'4" player running a 4.4740. And for like a reference, 6'5" Mike Evans ran a 4.53. Think about that. He was 6th best in vertical, top 10 broad jump. Both are in the 92nd percentile. And remember, this guy's already 6'4". His total
4.5, man.
Yeah. His total combine score was 4th best for wide receivers. This dude has a massive catch ratio with wingspans of over 6'7". Just imagine that, trying to guard somebody like that. He ran the gauntlet like a pro. He didn't participate in route running skills, but according to his prospect guide, he is polished route runner, but that is my favorite stat, so I wish I could have seen it. I did read that he was going to he came into the combine as like a day 4 or like round 4 or 5 wide receiver, but because of his speed, they actually are thinking that he's going to go in day 3. So that's so the capital will be there. And like right now, I read the possibility of him going to the Bills if they do not re-sign Amari Cooper.
That was Higgins, right?
Yep. Higgins. Jayden. Oh, Higgins. It's Higgins. Yes.
Yeah. And like, was he Iowa State?
Yes.
Oh, I was about to go off, man.
Wow.
So I was like, I love, dude, Iowa State. That's the same college as Caleb Johnson, who's that fucking running back that's like, he runs like a motherfucker, but that offensive line is so crazy. I couldn't even judge it. So everything I've heard about this guy is there's two tall wide receivers in the draft that can run well. And it's Higgins and the goddamn number 1. You know what I'm saying, from Arizona. So McMillan, I think his name is, or something like that.
Yeah.
And
it's like starts with a T, it's like Tech Trey.
I think it's McMillan though. And so this guy has a chance to be a first. I mean, there's a high chance Jason is going to be a first-round draft pick. And what did we just talk about, man? The hit rate on first-round draft picks got like fucking 80-something%. And then it drops off tremendously second, third round. We just did a show on this, man. So I am targeting first-round draft picked wide receivers. And this guy like checks a lot of boxes, dude. So I was going through, I wrote his name down, I circled it, and I was like, I wonder if Jason thought about this guy. He was going to be the guy I talked about. And yeah, dog, you already you chose him. So
I knew you would like this guy just for how tall he is.
Oh, well, I don't care. I mean, it's like Plaxico Burress was tall. And Calvin Johnson was tall, but it's not like a lot of. I liked Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt was tall, and I thought he was going to do well. You know, so that's not really a hit rate for me. MVS. What'd you say?
Jalen Hyatt, 6'4"?
Dude, Jalen Hyatt was fucking tall. Out of the two of the wide receivers, he was much taller than the other one. And I still believe in Hooker, Hendon Hooker. What's his name? Hendon Hooker, dude, for the Lions? Yeah. Dude. Go cut Jared Goff, put Hooker in, motherfucker. All right, anyways. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about this guy, Jason, because I've got a huge hard-on for this guy right now. All right? I'm not going to even mess around.
I thought you were just happy for me.
Dude, we're talking tight ends. All right? So I talk about hard-ons and tight ends. I don't know what that means. PFF's tight end number 6. So number 6 in the rankings for tight ends on PFF. You wouldn't think that'd be great because, well, we had Sam Laporta. Usually tight ends do not hit in the rookie year. We had Sam Laporta and we had Brock Bowers their first year. Harold Fannin. Did you hear about this guy, Jason?
No, I didn't really hear a lot about the tight ends past Everett and Tyler Warren.
All right, so 99th overall. So you're looking at maybe a third-round draft pick. I also liked Mason and Helm if they go to the right situations. So Helm looked like Sam Laporta, but slow. He was just like a tall, lanky white dude. Whatever. Mason was like fucking TJ Hawkinson or some shit.
Is he from LSU? I'm sorry, Tyler. Is Mason from LSU?
I think he is. And he
Mason Taylor.
Dude, he looked so great catching the ball. Like him and I think he had the best catching session out of all of the tight ends that I watched. And I wrote his name down, but he did not run the 40 and he had zero any other good stats. Now Helm, Helm had an okay 40, but man, he looks so natural catching the ball. But so given if Mason or Helm go to the right situation, I do think they will be successful and worth a draft pick in your fantasy drafts. But Harold Fannin, motherfucker, all right? 6'4", 230 pounds. He's actually like 6'3". I think he's 6'4". Like, so he's like, all right, Jason, put us in some heels, man. We'll be 6'4". And no, the crazy thing about this guy, all right? He led the team in rushing touchdowns his freshman year. Rushing touchdowns. Jason, I think I said this last year. I love Brock Bowers because he looks like a running back when he gets the ball. And then what did they do? They played him at running back in preseason. And I was like, holy fuck, I got to draft this guy. I drafted him. I put him up like a couple rounds, and I drafted him early, and I still came out bee's knees. So I'm looking at this guy. He looks like a fucking running back with the ball in his hands. And he led the goddamn team in rushing touchdowns, for God's sake. So that data lines up correctly. He had the highest PFF grade among all tight ends his sophomore season. That was Brock Bowers' year. So even when Brock Bowers was like, oh, this is the best tight end, I read the article, Jason, of PFF. This is the best tight end prospect of all time. He didn't even have the highest PFF grade that year. That went to this guy right here. He led all of college football in receiving yards last season with 1,500 yards, dude. McMillan and Jeremiah Smith, the number one wide receiver, and Jeremiah Smith would be the number one overall draft pick if he came out this year, only had a little over 1,300. So he had more yards than literally like the number one draft pick this year. And he's a fucking tight end. 8 games, Jason, with 100-plus reception yards. That's tied with Travis Hunter. He went against Penn State because I was like, who's got good linebackers to guard that tight end? Penn State. The motherfucker was the only guy to gain 100 reception yards versus Penn State this last year. I'm like falling in love, man. I'm like, I can't even fall asleep. I can't sleep on my stomach. I'm like a tripod over here. All right. He was the MAC Offensive Player of the Year. 4.7140. That was a huge disappointment. All right. Did you know that Sam Laporta, he ran like a 4.59? Brock Bowers ran like a 4.5. So I went looking. Oh, and then I went looking. I do want to tell you comp real quick. Dallas Clark, 6'3", similar 40. You check out Dallas Clark gets low under his pads when he gets the ball, dude, like a running back. Dallas Clark is my comp. Online, all I could find was Kincaid. I'm like, fuck Kincaid, I don't care. His production score, Jason. Tyler Warren was a 98. Fannin was a 90. Loveland is an 86. Helm was an 80. So one of the most productive tight ends in the NFL, in the college last year. And he had the second fastest 3-cone drill. And to me, I care about that in short spaces. I do not care about wide receivers in that. I care about running backs and tight ends. So, hey, man, I know he had a bad 40, but an amazing change of direction. And he looks like a running back with the ball in his hands. Dallas Clark, I swear to God, dude, if this guy goes to the right situation, I will be drafting motherfucking Fannin in my lineup.
What college did he go to?
Fucking Bowling Green. Don't talk about that.
No. I was wondering. I know there was another tight end who just like killed it, and he like led the. He had like over 100 receptions this year. I wonder if it's the same guy that I'm thinking about.
I don't think it was Loveland.
Because they said another thing where he was slow. Like he looks good, he runs smooth, but he was just slower than they expected.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the names. I didn't even know who he was. I watched it going in blind, and I wrote his name down, and then I was like, holy shit! Look, he was like the most productive. He led the league in receiving yards, man. Like holy. And then Daniel Jeremiah. I do want to say I like Daniel Jeremiah. He compared him to Antonio Gates. So there you go.
Do you feel like the combine helped him?
Oh no, it did. That's what I'm saying. Like, his 40 was whatever, but his second fastest 3-cone speed lined up with everything I watched. And so like a couple of these players, I'm taking like one thing that lines up with the production. He was always open, dude. In short areas, his 3-cone speed was elite. So that's what I like about him.
Nice, yeah, 7-11. Always.
All right, Jason, give me another name.
Here we go. What did I do last time? A wide receiver. Let's go back to the ground here. Boots on the ground. Running back DJ Giddens.
Oh, okay. All right. So you had multiple running backs
and wide receivers.
Good. That's where it really matters.
Yeah, I wasn't really too impressed with any of the quarterbacks or tight ends, so I just Caught these
Dude.
people who really took my eye.
The tight end, man, that led all. Did you hear what I said, man? He had 200 more fucking receiving yards than the number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. He did good in college. This was more of just like who impressed me at the combine. Really, that's what I was kind of going off of.
All right, go for it.
So his 40, he ran a 4.43 at 212 pounds and 6 feet. He had the second best vertical, tied second best broad jump with Omarion Hampton. You may hear about him a little bit later. And his shuttle time was 4th best at 4.33. He has a speed and explosiveness, but he didn't do the bench. He didn't do the bench press, which I hate. So I assume he may not be that strong of a player. That kind of sucks. But both his production score and his athleticism score are top 10 and top 7. He definitely got a bump in the draft because he was coming into a combine with, and people were thinking that he had a lack of explosiveness, that they were saying that was his weakness. So he showed that he actually does have explosiveness. He might lack strength compared to other running backs, but his running style reminds me of a Jahmyr Gibbs just during the drills. He's definitely not as fast as Jahmyr Gibbs or explosive, but he's definitely got some speed on him. His speed score was 4th best for running backs, and he was tied 7th in missed tackles forced per attempt in 2024. So he can evade tackles and explosiveness. Going into the combine, he was projected around 4 or 5, but now I see him going round 2, maybe 3, yes. And he is a possible workhorse coming out of Kansas State. And Tyler, do you know who was a starting running back while he was the backup running back 3 years ago?
What college did he play for?
Kansas State.
Shit. I should know this. No, who was it?
I fell in love with the runner.
Oh, fuck. Deuce McAllister.
No. Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn. I always think there's too many deuces in this goddamn league. So everything you tell me about, and what college? So what college did he went to Kansas State the entire time?
Yeah, at least like last 3 years.
Because Omarion, who you're talking about, and he's got similar physical stats to him. Omarion is going to go so high, dude. He's going to be one of the. I think he's like the only other. Him and Gianti are going to be the only first round running backs picked, something like that. And hey, we talked about the hit rate of first round players. I don't think that applies to running backs because a lot of them are not drafted in in the first round. So I do not mind taking second, third round, fourth round running backs in the draft. So I think that's great that you picked him.
Yeah.
And then all right, man.
In here, he said he just watched some DJ. He can juke guys in the hole and accelerate. Honestly, dude, he did a play when I was like, they were showing highlights with him at the combine. They were showing highlights of him in college. And he did this one juke, and it was crazy. The first person I thought about was Saquon Barkley. But I'm not there yet. I'm not doing no comparison like that. This isn't my comparison episode. I'm going to wait. But damn, I'm telling you, he looked good. I just wish
I'm trying to do comps when they're obvious. Like to me, like when I feel like I'm good at evaluating tight ends more than most. Running backs, I fell in love with goddamn Deuce Vaughn, for God's sakes.
Ever since Gronk, you've been the tight end.
You're right. I told everybody Gronk was going to catch 10 touchdowns his rookie year, and guess what? He did. So,
Yep.
All right, and then so I'm going to go ahead and talk about quarterbacks, Jason. Whatever. Jaxson Dart is going to be the quarterback I talk about, and he had the best throwing workout. He threw the ball too flat. It was all nothing but laser beams. But when he actually threw deep, oh my God, that was amazing. He had the best deep balls by far. He is the PFF quarterback ranked number 6, 126 overall. So, I mean, what, dude? You're looking at like 4th round, something like that, 3rd, 4th round, something like that. But players that I also liked, I want to talk about Quinton Ewers. If they didn't have to go deeper than 30 yards, he would have had the best throwing workout by far. But once it went deep, he was underthrowing everybody. He was literally the only quarterback that was layering throws, and he looked so comfortable. He looked awesome, man. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And I was like, oh, it's Quinton Ewers. I know him. I heard about him all the time. Super inconsistent. People hate him in Texas. But still, dude, that guy looked amazing throwing the ball. And then this guy, Jason Longbottom from Harry Potter. What's his name?
Yeah, long. Are you talking about like his character's name?
Yeah, do you know his first name?
Like Nouvel?
Dude, something like that. Neville fucking Longbottom.
Neville Longbottom.
He's got sad eyes, dude. Seth Hennigan. This guy's gonna get no press. He looks like a fucking potato out there throwing the. I don't think he ever worked out a day in his life. This guy threw the ball amazing. All right, he had sad eyes like Longbottom, dude. Neville Longbottom all day long. If he goes to the Giants, I don't give a fuck. Somewhere where he will start. I am paying attention. All right, this is my dark horse here. But back to Jaxson Dart. 6'2", 225 pounds. So he is not thin. He was a baseball and a basketball player, or no, baseball and a football player. I don't know why I put basketball. But so that's why he looks so comfortable throwing the ball, and the deep ball was amazing. And his layered throws were a little bit weird. I was a baseball player. It's not like you layer throws. You know what I'm saying? You drive through throws. So I could see that in his game. He transferred to Ole Miss from USC. Did you know that, Jason?
No.
So he was USC. Then he transferred to Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin was there. That motherfucker's, all-time great college offensive coach. Third most passing yards on only 398 attempts, okay? So that is almost 200 fewer attempts than number one Kyle McCord. And then Cam Ward had the second most yards. That fool had like almost 500 attempts. So this guy's like attempts, his efficiency was like Brock Purdy last year. So it might come down, but still amazing year. 29 touchdowns, 6 picks, sacked 28 times. All right. If you look at Cam Ward, I think it was like sacked 12 times or something like that. So Cam Ward kind of scares me because he did not face the heat in college. This guy did. I kind of like that. 69% completion percentage, dude. Cam Ward is like 67. So I like that as well. And I talked about the flat balls. I went back and I checked his highlights. Dude, the first like 10 highlights were fucking perfectly touch balls, dude. Touch feel with arc. Amazing. So I actually, after watching the tape on Jaxson Dart, I like him even more. All right. So he's got Heather Locklear hair from the 70s. Apparently that shit's coming back.
From the 70s?
Dude, it's weird as fuck. Whatever. I always thought, dude, feathered hair will never come back. Go check out goddamn Jaxson Dart. He had the best throwing workout. I love Quentin Ewers and Hennigan, but Dart would be my favorite if he goes to the right situation.
Yeah, it sounds like you're taking a shot in the dart.
Yeah, I mean, for upside though, man, like Quentin Ewers would be all day long going up and down the field first downs. Jaxson Dart, long touchdowns, and maybe some good stuff in between. Seth Hennigan, wild card, dude. He looks amazing. I don't know what to do with him.
Man, one of the things I took away from this was the player you're not even talking about is Cam Ward, because you told me one of your favorite traits about him is that he was able to go through progression.
I remember
he got stacked like 12 times. I'm like, damn, that guy must have a great offensive line.
Dude, I'm telling you exactly what it is. I thought the same thing, Jason, because I was like, holy fuck. Shedeur Sanders got beat up. There's a couple quarterbacks. I can't remember who they were. I heard about them who got barely touched, and that doesn't translate well to the NFL. So I'm a little worried for Cam Ward on my brother from another mother on that aspect.
Yeah, good call. Good call on that, because I definitely agree that it does make a difference, because you're likely not going to have that much time in the NFL. So if you're not used to it, how are you going to play at an elite level? Oh, shit.
Give me another name, Jason.
Okay, this one's going to be super short because I fell asleep while writing the notes. I woke up at 2 a.m. and I had 500 Qs on my little note thing here. So it's Luther Burden, the third.
Luther? What is this, fucking Superman?
Is it not Luther?
I think it is Luther.
Oh, what are you doing?
Luther Von Braun. That's he entered Pedro, then he entered him, and then they took turns. They finished on each other. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Jason.
I don't know.
Mrs. Kelly just passed away. Shout out to Miss Kelly.
I am like, so did I get the name right? It's Luther Burden, right?
He did.
Okay, hold on. I got to drink to that. My nerves were going a little bit crazy right there. I'm like, fuck, who the fuck is this guy? Coming all over the place, man. All right. It's going to be pretty short.
Why do you watch the show? Why do you watch the show?
I didn't finish a lot of my notes on this, but he ran the 40 and was a 4.41, and which that put him in the 90th percentile. And his speed score was an 88th percentile. His production score and his total combine score was third best for wide receivers. So didn't do much else at the combine, which is scary, but he is set to do well in the draft. His production, he had productive years in Iowa, and coaches now know that he has some speed. So he was putting up numbers in Iowa. Now they know he can actually, run. And he's a primary slot receiver, and that's what I liked about it. He had the size, and he's fast, and he's primarily a slot receiver, which in PPR, Tyler, I always say that's easy points. And that's all the notes I have on this guy. I can't remember what happened with the rest.
Dude, I almost want to tell people, like, hey, man, this year's weird on running backs. Yeah, it might be like 2 or 3 top heavy, but there's a lot of fantasy gold in these running backs. So just go through, watch it yourself. We could talk about 12 of them on this fucking show right now if we wanted to, because they're all favorites.
Tyler,
I had Woody. Woody was amazing. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but what's up?
Because you're talking about that, I have a stat right here. I just got to hold on 1 second. Sorry.
The fastest running back class of all time.
Running backs that ran a sub 4.540 dash at the combine. 2023, only 7. 2024, only 8. 2025, 14.
Jesus. 50% increase. 75% increase. All right. So let's get into. I'll just stick it with running backs, Jason. Quinshon Judkins. All right. So this is the Ohio State running back. So Ohio State is littered with talent. You don't really. You don't like quarterbacks from there, but every other position you like. Okay. He was the PFF running back number 4, number 55th, is 55th overall. So we're looking in the second round. This guy's going. And then running backs to pay attention to, Caleb Johnson. He was my favorite on the tape, man. I went back and looked at tape. Caleb Johnson runs like the goddamn Roadrunner in those fucking Coyote cartoons. He leans forward and his wheels are just running. But his offensive line was so good, I could not evaluate anything, and his 40 fucking sucked. He had no good stats from the combine. So I cannot say, hey, it's my favorite for the combine. He'll be my favorite later on. And then Taj Brooks, 3-cone drill, Jason. Had the highest correlation to running back success out of any other drill. I could only find results on 3 running backs, but he actually did the best. And Taj Brooks had a lot of short speed quickness that I really liked. But Quinshon Judkins is fucking huge, all right? So all these, Taj Brooks is small. Caleb Johnson only weighs like 9 more pounds than Quinshon Judkins. Let's see. So Quinshon Judkins had almost 1,600 rushing yards his freshman season at Ole Miss. That was the second most in SEC history all time, only behind Herschel Walker. All right, so he had a record-breaking season. And he's like, where can I go to get drafted higher? He transferred over to the Buckeyes. Did amazing. He had a 100-yard game versus Notre Dame in the championship the first season with the Buckeyes. Notre Dame was known for their defense. So, what I usually do is I go, this player versus the best defense he faced in the biggest situation. I would have looked at that and been like, hey, dude, 100 yards. Oh, my God. He weighed 20 more pounds than Travion Henderson. They split carries, all right? But he was the starting running back. Henderson was more of like the third down back. So, and then here he had like a 4.540 pretty much. And on tape, it was a big body moving fast. So I was like, fuck, dude. Like, this does not make sense. I did not see breakaway speed. So I was like, okay, let's look at the 10-yard split. This guy had the second fastest 10-yard split, Jason. 1.51. Only Tootin, the guy that, had a 4.2940, for God's sakes, had a faster one, and that was only 1.49. So, 200ths of a second fast? So this guy's acceleration for his fucking size, dude, is insane. He does not have the top end speed, okay? Neither did Emmitt Smith.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, running backs, he does not have the balance that Emmitt Smith has. Do not worry. I'm going to compare him to fucking Najee Harris, for God's sakes. Like a quick Najee Harris. I don't know why. I think it was his running back style, just straight up. I look at him sucking dick right now, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you're just like fucking hitting people, like sitting straight up. And so, hey, quick feet. And when it came to like hitting the hole drill, he looked amazing. So Quinshon Judkins, as far as fluidity, quick feet, and acceleration with that size, I really like. The home runs I do not like, okay? So it's like a fast Najee Harris. When Najee Harris is looking good, Jason. When Najee Harris is looking good. Hey, and one real fast, I do want to say his online comps from everybody was Kareem Hunt and Joe Mixon. But to me, I just saw Najee Harris with quick feet. Like a quick Najee Harris.
Yeah, for his size and his speed, he actually had the 5th best speed score. 109.
Yeah.
Yeah,
seriously.
109.
Like, and Najee Harris was nothing like that. So Najee Harris was just a bruiser in general. So like a quick bruiser, depending on the situation, you know, the Steelers don't score many touchdowns, but say Najee Harris was on the Rams or something, it could have been good. All right, man. Give me a name, Jason. I'm going to go pee.
All right. Omarion Hampton.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we already know this guy is probably one of my favorite, player at the combine. You know, going in, everyone already knows the running back, Ashton Genty. That's RB1 for this class. For RB2, you know, there was whispers, there was talks about Hampton, but I think now after the combine, he is clearly running back 2 coming out of this draft, and he looks pretty damn good. His 40 time was 4.64. He ran that at 221 pounds. The Patriots quarterback, Drake May, is his old quarterback. So there's talk that he may go there because of that, or he actually may go to the Bears because Ben Johnson's from UNC. Before all that, 38 inch is his vertical, 10-10 for his broad jump, top 8 in shuttle, and top 4 in bench reps. So he actually took to the bench, and I like that. He has explosiveness and is one of the stronger running backs. He earned a top 10 in athleticism score and top 4 in production score for running backs. His speed score, you know, that's where I've been talking about this whole episode. That's where you best your score or your speed with your weight. And he had, what do I have? He had 3rd best. He had the 3rd best speed score out of all running backs. His combine looked really good and running jukes, and his juke looked like an elite Saquon Barkley. That's what I kind of said before. Not my comp, though. It's just he had this one juke. I'm just telling you. Saquon Barkley. That's what it looked like. With all the running backs, he showed he will be the 2nd best running back in the draft and moved from a day 2 pick to a day 1. Mel Kiper Jr. mock draft has him going to the Cowboys if Genty gets drafted 6 to the Raiders. So let's say if that happens, I'm loving it. I am fucking loving that. I would love to have Hampton on the Cowboys for because I'm a homer and also for fantasy purpose. I would love that. They said if that's not the case, if the Cowboys get Genty, that Hampton has a good chance to go to the Broncos.
Hey, man, we talked about this. If any Broncos if they draft a running back, I am paying attention, for God's sakes. Oh, my God. I will be drafting any running back they fucking draft. So that would be huge there. I think that you confuse. You said athletic system. Athleticism.
I thought I was reading it. Athleticism. Oh, my God. Now I can't even say athleticism.
Athleticism.
I said system? Athletic system?
You said your old athletic system. Or something. It's like, or electric.
He earned top 10
your elastic system.
He earned a top 10 in athleticism score.
Athleticism.
Is that
okay?
Right?
I'm tripping balls. Athleticism. There's no fucking ick.
Fuck.
All right, Jason.
You know what I fucking mean, dog. God damn. I even tried to slow down the words so I could say it.
You can't slow me down. All right, hey. This is the player I did the least amount of research for because apparently I forgot about it and I got drunk. PFF wide receiver number 4, Jason Matthew Golden. All right, so I made up my mind on this guy yesterday, because I was watching the wide receivers was the first group I watched, and yeah, people were talking all kinds of mad shit about this dude. Only 5'11", but 191 pounds, so a solid dude, right? PFF wide receiver number 4, 27th overall. That means he's a first round pick, according to PFF. And a first round wide receiver pick, Jason, is like an 80% hit rate. So Matthew Golden got on my radar. 7 touchdowns as a freshman at Houston. And then he transferred over to Texas after his sophomore year. So I think he got 6 more touchdowns his sophomore year. Transferred to Texas. Started all 15 games, and he had 162 yards in the SEC championship. He had the fastest 40 of every single goddamn wide receiver, and the second fastest 40 overall by 100th of a second. So, in the 4.2s for a wide receiver with amazing production. All right, and it's not like he's an early release or anything. This guy's a fucking junior. So his comps, to everybody was Waddle and Olave. Then I watched it, and I was like, yeah, this guy's like Waddle or Olave. I mean, Waddle was one of the fastest wide receivers in the league. Olave was inside and out. So it's like a combination of like super speed, Chris Olave. And I remember Chris Olave. Oh, dude, who was all at Ohio State one time, Jason? It was Chris Olave.
It was JSN. Wasn't Garrett Wilson.
So JSN was the wide receiver. That's what it was. So JSN was a wide receiver that sat out, and they were like, "You think Chris Olave is good? Wait till you fucking see JSN." Okay, I remember that now. So, anyways, dude, Chris Olave is amazing. So Waddle and Olave, Matthew Golden is in that inside out, 5'11", 190 pounds. These are the type of wide receivers that have been dominating the league lately. So I actually really like Matthew Golden. First round wide receiver. The hit rate on that is amazing. So I will be targeting him in the league in the fantasy draft coming up.
This is to show you how good he actually is. Isaiah Bond, the other Texas wide receiver, transferred over from Alabama to be the number 1 wide receiver for that team, to be the best wide receiver for the Texas Longhorns. Yeah, that did not happen. That was actually Matthew Golden. He shined last year. He took over that number 1 spot, and then he ended up being the fastest wide receiver at the Combine. He is going to be a first-round pick. I heard
it's like Brian Thomas Jr., man. Brian Thomas Jr. was tall. He's like Higgins or whatever. Higgins might sneak into the second round. But it's like, yeah, first-round wide receivers, you better fucking draft them. And this guy's the fastest one out of all of them. So
there's a chance people are saying he might go to the Steelers.
I was going to say the fucking dude, if he goes, I would like to see a big body with Drake May, but if he goes to the Patriots, I'd be paying attention to. If the Patriots kind of trade into the end of the first round, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they've got a top draft pick. Because I was thinking about Patriots and Giants. Like, would I like either of them? Giants, no, because Neighbors the burner. But the Patriots coming back, maybe the Raiders drafting into the trading back into the second round or in the first round at the end. I wouldn't mind that either. I'd be really paying attention to that. But I like Jacoby Myers. So yeah, the Patriots I think I'd be paying attention to a lot. And then I do want to speak about Brayshul Tootin. All right. So I was watching that, and everybody's like, they brought on so many NFL players, with Rich Eisen and Darren Jeremiah. And they're like, did you see that running back? He was flying. It was all Tootin. Okay. So he had the fastest 40, 4.29, 10-yard split, 1.49, which is fucking, I was going to say that's actually, that is faster than the tight end or the running back I liked. No. Yeah. So can you believe that, Jason? I mean, that 220-pound running back had a 1.51 10-yard split. Crazy. But he also had the highest vert and the second best broad jump. So Tootin, if you want to see where he goes and if you like the situation, he is worth mentioning as well.
He has a number 1 speed score that I've been talking about, and he dominated by 6 points.
But man, he drank a lot of water and ate a lot of food to weigh 200 pounds. This fucking combine.
206 is what this is showing on Twitter.
I was thinking about it because I weigh 190-ish, and I was like, could I weigh 200 and you need to weigh 200 by next week, I was like, I think I fucking could, for $100,000 for $1 million. Like, yeah, dude, I think I could do it. So that's not the kind of weight you want.
Well, I'm going to be rooting for Tootin.
Yeah, rooting for Tootin. All right, guys. Any more comments we need to address, Jason?
No, I think Olaf is just in there laughing at us.
What's up, Olaf? All right, guys.
And
Thank you so much.
Corion,
dude. Hey, this is your Corion, man. There's a lot of running backs. This is your year. This is your year, Corion. So, yeah, I mean, you could depending on how the draft goes, man, you could take wide receivers early and then draft all these fucking rookie running backs late, but they have to be in good situations. So we'll look at opportunity for running backs later on. Anyways, hey, thank you for watching the show, man. Again, if you have a combine favorite, please comment down below so we can look closer. All right, so this was our first time looking into college shit for a minute, and we will be going deep, especially once the draft happens and when we know where they are going. And yeah, that worked out pretty well for us last year, Jason. I want to say Travis Hunter was a Biletnikoff. If he goes to the Titans, I'll be interested. I don't know, man. Maybe the Jaguars might get Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. So there's stuff like that. These guys did not participate in the combine, so we will be going over those players as well. Jason, send us out. Please please subscribe. Fucking A.
Yep. So we'll be here same time, same channel next week. I'm gonna have a couple of brewskis.
What's up, boys?
And I mean, there's a lot of transactions going on right now. A lot of signing and trading. Maybe we might do
I was thinking about doing a free agent tracker or free agent signing episode.
Right. That could possibly be what we do next week. We'll talk about it. We'll let you guys know, or you'll just tune in and see for yourselves. I'll talk to you in that episode. Deuces. This is the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you. I just did like some pose like they do at the end of Lucas. Olaf.